Yo, this is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped. I'm back here with another Division 2 video. This video is going straight in on the classic but not so classic debate of what is best in slot, what should you wear as far as damage goes, raid builds. And I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. I tried out a bunch of stuff and a lot of it slaps almost equally. But what I found is the improvised pieces give you way more damage than the contractor's gloves and the fox's prayer. The contractor's gloves and fox's prayer have their uses. Damage to armor for ripping through armor, but the problem with that is not all bosses have armor, not all NPCs have armor, and things of that. The downside to the Fox's Prayer is if someone's doing a cover to cover or they're doing a cover to cover shooting from cover and they're not out in the open, it negates the damage to targets out of cover because guess what? They're in cover. Have you ever ran up on an agent in the dark zone and he was hiding behind a wall and it seemed like it took forever to get him down until he got out of cover? That's the reason why your damage to targets out of cover is not working at the time. If your damage to targets is not working at the time, then you cannot get that damage that you're so looking for from the Fox's Prayer knee pads. And damage to armor only works if they have armor. So that's the reason why a lot of players, if you see them, they run with assault rifles because you got damage to armor from the contractor's gloves. You got damage to targets out of cover if they're out of cover. And you also have health damage that comes rolled on all assault rifles. But if you do not have an assault rifle and you're running with an SMG, chances are your damage to targets out of cover and sometimes your damage to armor if you're in PvE is not working because some of the NPCs do not have any armor. So that negates, those are the only negates. But the one negate that you cannot get rid of, no matter where you are in PvE or PvP, is you can't get rid of crit damage at all, or headshot damage. Crit damage and headshot damage are by far the things that are utilized 100% of the time in all aspects of the game. And when I say in all aspects of the game, I mean every part of the game you can use damage to targets. I'm not damage to targets out of cover, but crit damage and crit chance on all your builds, and you will have a superior build, no problem. And don't get it twisted, the Fox's Prayers and contractor's gloves are very great. They're not something I would take completely out, but I would think about using other aspects of the game and other aspects of your build to try to get as high as crit damage as you could possibly can. I've seen crit damage go all the way up to 400%, and we're talking about with the backfire and things like that. I've seen over 200% crit damage, which is by far the best that you can possibly do. If we're talking about crit damage in the game, 200% would put you at a spot where you are literally ripping through things with no problem, whether you have on armor or not. That's my take on that. If I'm gonna have to say, I'm gonna rank these in 1, 2, 3 categories, starting at the last one. Last one for me is Contractor's Gloves, Fox's Prayer. That is the last resort. If you're just coming into the game, I would get Fox's Prayers and Contractor's Gloves to start off, and then I would move on to my number 2 of the tier. And the number 2 of the tier would be the Providence, Grupo, Sokolov, Walker, and Harris combination with the Ninja Bike backpack. If you don't have the Ninja Bike backpack, well, 3-piece Providence, 1 Grupo, and 2 Sokolov. And my last one would be 2 to 3 improvised pieces, holster, knee pad, and gloves for the final one. Roll with crit damage, crit chance, headshot damage, or crit damage, crit chance, double crit damage. All right, this is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped. I hope you got some insight into my psyche of builds. This is my opinion. This is not law, or I just say test it out, see if you like it. And thank you for watching. Appreciate you all. This is your boy Anubis Can't Be Stopped. Stay frosty, agents.